I fucking hate this fucking. Low quality. Low quality transmission. Low. This is so low quality. It's incredible. This is low quality on steroids. This is low quality, my boy. Boy, my boy. Yeah. This is low quality, my boy. Boy, my boy. Oh, yes. This cat is terrible. I'm gonna stop this fucking thing. Go again. Better. Now I look like a corpse. This is just I'm doing a test here. Test. Well, I am connected, so that's nice. Two people watching. I feel honored, even if you leave. Two people watching. Okay. Almost 10 o'clock here in Norway. I'm gonna go to the gym when the fasting is done, close to 5. Almost 10 o'clock here in Norway. The gym when the fasting is done, close to 5. Almost 10 o'clock. Shoulder day today. I love shoulder day. Be right back. Shoulder day today. I love it. Back. Why the hell did I? Be right back. Shoulder day. I forgot. Yeah, yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. I'm gonna get a real Islamic beard. I'm gonna get a real Islamic beard. Look like a mullah. so tired of shaving. No way. Some men should have real beards. But the real man gotta have real beard. Real man. I'll finish up in a while. Hey, Bruder. Hey, Bruder. Let me see here now. How is it? Let me see here now. How is it? I gotta stop this nonsense with the phone. I gotta get a real camera. I gotta stop this nonsense with the phone. I gotta get a real camera. Gunshot release. Yeah, I actually was in the back. No joke. Yeah, I actually was in the back. And I cut myself while shaving. So that's quite hilarious. And I cut myself while shaving. That's quite hilarious. I wonder if I'm gonna buy a Sony. I think a real streaming camera. Like I wonder if Zayamorph. I talked to you the other day, didn't I? You're from Turkey, right? Living in China. Zayamorph. I talked to you the other day, didn't I? You're from Turkey. Right? Any progress in these few days? Any progress in these 2 days? How swole have you become? Oh my God. How swole have you become? Oh my God. I gotta change this. I gotta get my. I gotta change this. I gotta get. Yeah, last few days I've been doing a lot of cardio. It fixed my sleeping. Really? Huh. Yeah, last few days I've been doing a lot of cardio. It fixed my sleeping. Really? Okay, man, I cut myself for shaving. It's typical me. I'm always bleeding. Okay, man, I cut myself for shaving. It's typical me. Always bleeding. Well, that's good, man. That's fantastic. I'm gonna kill the sound on my. I was just doing a test. I didn't know you would come on. Guess I have to speak now. A few minutes. So yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, cardio is good. I mean, I do cardio every day. It's hard to do cardio when you're fasting because it's one thing to fast without water, but I mean with water. But if you're fasting without water, doing anything strenuous is super hard. Are you? So it's only cardio? Did you do a lot of things with the phone? Put the phone away and change your food habits and whatever? It's really important. It's to get to sleep. That's fantastic. You know, that's all. That's awesome. If you can get you good sleep, that's fantastic. That's number one. Get your good sleep on. That's the best. Yeah. Don't touch the phone. That's the number. That's terrible. You know, fires up the neurons in your brains and makes them hypersensitive through mind. It's like when I would drive a taxi, I would come home from work because it was like reels on steroids, and anytime I get home from work, I had to wind down first. No TV. I just have to sit and relax for an hour and a half and eat. Just relax. Because if I went to bed straight at bed after driving a taxi at night, I would close my eyes. It was like a movie going, because your mind is so stressed. I would be driving for 12 hours, So if you're constantly staring at reels, it's probably the same effect. You can't sleep. You hardly sleep. So then you're lying there asleep for an hour, and you're like, okay, you start watching more reels, and you lie there. That's terrible. So stay off your phone. Basically, what you should do is, you do what you want, but I would delete everything that is not YouTube. You can keep YouTube. Obviously, I have YouTube myself, but I would delete everything else than YouTube. So today I'm doing shoulders day at the gym. It's now 10 o'clock here in the morning, or midday, or whatever you call it. I'm going down there to dominate the gym as always. So you can see here the picture I have of myself. I don't have too many pictures because I have my crappy laptop and my new phone, so I don't have a lot of pictures on it. I should take my other my bank and get some of my other. I drove a taxi for about combined, I'm not sure, 7-8 years. I only drove night shift. During those years, I only had 3 weeks off. I lived in that thing. I would literally park behind a gas station and sleep 6 hours. Wake up, go into the gas station toilet, wash my face and everything, have a coffee and something. I would start the computer again and start a new shift. After the first year, I despised that job. I hated that job. I've never been so close in my life to killing people like I was when I drove a taxi. I literally murdered almost 10 people, no joke. Yeah, I have tens of thousands of crazy stories, but I forgot most of them. But well, once I picked up this guy. I would drive a taxi in Tromsø. It's a shithole up here in northern Norway, Tromsø. But it's a small fishing village, just like where I live. And in Tromsø there lives about 70,000 people combined within the county. 70,000 people. So one morning I would pick up this guy. I think it was 7 o'clock in the morning. And he came out of the building, private house. He would jump into. He was dressed like this weird, denim clothing, like Levi's denim clothing. Even the jacket was denim, and it was like white denim, and the pants. And he would jump into the taxi. He would I was sitting like here, and he would like move his head all the way up into my face and ask me, "You want to fight?" And he had all his hands were full of blood, and he was stinking vodka. That was funny. I was like, okay. I'm like, where do you want to go? I started driving him around, and he was big mouth. So I wasn't afraid of him, but it was kind of fun. And I would drive, and then I would kick him out after a while. He would go out and leave. And then afterwards, they told me that he was a guy who he killed his brother and chopped off his head and threw it out the window up in a place called Alta. And he was basically a psychopath. He's probably dead now, but so he killed his brother and threw it out the window. I was like, really? It was him? I'm an idiot. Obviously, I would have beat the crap out of him easily, but he was a big mouth, I ran into him later in the town. He asked me for a cigarette. I said no. So I had so many crazy people in the gym. But the thing when you drive a taxi, the men are not the worst. Women are the worst. Men who works in the nightclub industry will say the same thing. Women are 100 times worse than men. Women, because of the alcohol and their emotions, they're insane. They're like this in their head. It's like they're like crying, angry, happy, crying, angry. It's just terrible, Women are also horrible tippers. They never tip, They almost never tip. The guys will tip, on a regular basis. Women, almost never. You will never find a woman who tip. I mean, women are extremely, but women are very materialistic. Even if people would share my taxi and drive home, if the last person would be a woman and people just give money to the last person going off, and she will have a lot of money, not paid anything. Even then, the last woman, she will take all the money, and she will not actually tip anything. This is like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. So I mean, women are extremely cheap in the taxi. I mean, just and that women are always notoriously cheap. Women are extremely cheap. So, and then of course, women are really angry, bitter. A lot of bitter women, especially here in the West, I guess, because you can always tell a woman comes in the taxi when she's bitter. You know what I mean? And women who are alone, they have issues. Women who they have that one angry girlfriend. They have that one angry girl. Oh, I hate this phone.
Foe, would you like me to help you finish a story or a quote?
Burn in hell. You have the AI pops up. Are you still there? Women, they get angry if they're angry, bitter women, especially when they're 30 years plus. They don't have a husband, they don't have children. I mean, a woman like that comes into the taxi, it takes about 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, it's one of them. And there's a lot of them here in Norway. I mean, they're so angry and bitter, so angry and bitter. I mean, our women are depressed by default, but they're so, angry and bitter. They sit there, well, why are you driving this way? And oh, shut up. And I had so many angry women. I mean, I sometimes I have to drive them to the police station because they refuse to pay. I'm like, okay, and the police would come out and just, they would say, pay, or you're getting a fine of about $800 if you don't pay. Plus, you get you get slammed. And I had so many cases like this. Angry women are the worst. Angry, bitter women. They're sitting in the back, and you can tell they're so angry because they've been driving the carousel. They're being, with guys and partying, and they're a little. They care about their little worthless career. They're so worthless. Their little career. So they're so angry and bitter. And of course, they're drunk. They drink their red wine, the cardboard red wine, the 3 liters. They're always the same. All of them are all the same. There's no difference between them. They're all angry and bitter. So, but some girls are sweet, and you can always tell a woman is really kind and sweet. She usually she's flowing her mind. She's usually have a husband or married or something. But those angry, bitter feminist women, those types of women you find on dating apps, and they are single and alone. They are the worst. They're absolutely the worst. So I gotta get my phone off this thing here. It's terrible. Put my phone here instead. Do you have plans to get married? Yeah, I hope so. Now that I'm a Muslim, I gotta find myself a Muslima. So I gotta go. But you can't find it here in Norway. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to find a Muslima here in Norway. But we'll see. I'll try. And here where I live, it's a few women, and most of them are taken. I'm guessing if I go to your country, Turkey, or there's a lot of secular women in Turkey. If I go to another country, there's a lot of Muslim women. I know in England, there's a lot of Muslim women, a lot of beautiful Muslim women. So I don't know. I have no idea. I gotta. That's the thing. I'm a man who got a lot to bring to a woman's. I can give her security and all those things. I can give her healthy, strong children. Healthy, strong children, good DNA. All the men in my family are big and strong and broad shoulders. No diseases, no mental illness. I can bring a lot of those things, you know. I've been a fighter, a kickboxer, all of those things, you know. I mean, but I don't have too much money now, so I gotta do something there because I gotta move south, I think, and start a new job and see what happens. Get some money going, and we'll see. Well, how about you? Are you married? Xenomorph. 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 You have kids? It would be so much easier to have a family where you come from. Here in Norway. The only reason people get killed serious because of the alcohol. No joke. No joke. The only reason people get kids in Scandinavia is because of alcohol. Alcohol here is such a part of life, you know. It's so sad. It's such a part of life. Most people drink alcohol. It's always been like that since way before. Viking era. It's always been the same. So people meet, and there's always been far between people living here. So, but yeah, it's pretty hard here to meet someone here because, and also Scandinavian women are notoriously angry and bitter. As I said, I go to the gym every day. Outside, women are like, they get this angry face, that bitter face. They look like someone just killed their whole family. They're just the worst. It's a trope around the world about depressed, angry. It's like when I traveled with my friends many years ago. We traveled abroad to other countries. It was incredible. Women were so feminine. They were so nice and kind. You know, they could easily talk to them. They're so nice. It's amazing. Beautiful women are. Norwegian women are beautiful. No. Why? Quite. Maybe people like you or people who come from, they think about, oh my God, this beautiful blonde Aryan. God, oh, beautiful, so beautiful. And it's like, dude, good luck. You can keep him, okay? Just take him. I would rather have a woman who's a Muslim woman from, Arabian Peninsula or whatever, North African or Afghanistan, whatever. 1,000 times more than Norwegian women. And Norwegian women are like maybe 5% are good, but 60% of women here are all fat. Just like in France, Germany, England, most women here are fat. A lot of women are fat. Some blonde. And young women, they don't eat animal fats when growing up because they think that they makes them fat. So they don't get breasts, because animal fats are so important to grow a good, healthy female body. This is no joke. There's plenty of women doctors who talk about this online because the fats are so important for your hormones. And all Western women, if you're in France, Spain, it doesn't matter where you go, they're all like flat-chested. They're just the worst. I don't want to be gruff, like I want to, be, but I like a woman who is, endowed, you know what I mean. That's my thing. So I go to the gym. Every woman is like, it's like a cardboard. It's like a guy's chest. It's terrible. Seriously, 9 out of 10 women are like washboard. It's terrible. It's because they eat greens, vegetables. They eat carbohydrates. They're not developed properly like women. So they're all. And you go to East Turkmenistan and all those countries in the East, women, they just drink whole milk and they grow up with eating real fat and meat. They're beautifully developed, and like women, they're so feminine. You can talk to them, But here, good luck with that. There's a reason why nobody had kids here. There's a reason why we're only a little over 4 million people living in Norway, plus the immigrants, okay? So that's not a joke. The women, we get 1.2 children here per household. Many people are not even married. Women here are so angry and bitter. I had guys who came here from Morocco and other countries who came here like, oh my God, I got myself a beautiful blonde woman. Yeah, grass bro, because we don't want them. You can keep them. And then after a while, they're like divorced and angry and bitter, and they mess up my brothers. In court, take their money, they lose everything, their house, They destroy them. Their courts are run by women. Even the police are run by women. Everything is run by women here. It's pathetic. It's a joke. It's a complete joke in Norway. Absolutely pathetic. I mean, it's so feminized. You have no idea. It's such a joke. Okay? If you want a woman, take him, keep him, bye-bye. God bless. I don't want him, you know? I see a few women that I mean, I can count on one hand the women I've seen in Norway that I want to marry in my life. No joke. Why else do you think I'm not married? Everyone I know went east to find a woman. I had 5 guys before that was a lot of no. And all of my friends, they got divorced from their women. No joke. And they all went east to find a proper woman. Okay? And they came back and now they're happy. No joke. All of them. Everyone I know. One guy, my friend, my third cousin, he had several women and they all treated him like shit. One time he had to go to the court to witness because she was taking everything he had and lying about him, and one of the women was so bad she would lie about another man she was with after him and was going to destroy his life just to keep the children. So my third cousin had to go to court and witness against her and tell her the court that she's a psychopath, and I know she's a psychopath. I know her too. She's an absolute psycho. And that's the thing here with Scandinavia. There's a lot of psychopathic women. You know, they're so angry and bitter. I mean, Norwegian women are the worst. You want them, you can keep them. I don't want them. I want a proper woman, a Muslima, you know, a woman who fear God, number one, in her heart. If women who put Allah in her heart, number one, you know, everything else, the husband, the children, everything else will fall in place. Everything else will fall in place. So, but go to Moldova. Women are beautiful and traditional. Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll go anywhere. You know, I do like. I prefer women either European or you know, like from Central Asia, you know, Afghanistan, those countries, Pakistan to Middle East, North African, or you know, Latina. But Latinas are unstable mentally for the most part. So, but you gotta get a woman who will, number one, is Allah in her heart, because then everything else will fall in place. The women here, it's all, you know, they're worthless careers, bad attitude, and you knew the backbiting women do here about men. As I said, I know a lot of men who come here from those countries and they're like, oh my god, I got a beautiful blonde Norwegian woman, and they are almost killing themselves after a few years or months because they're so bad. I'm not joking. They go to town, they have the girlfriends, they don't give a crap what you think. If you tell a Norwegian woman, I don't want you going out with your girlfriends to a bar and drinking, they will look like you're the devil. I mean, seriously, no joke. Okay? So, oh, it's the truth, man. It's the truth. Norwegian women are Scandinavian women, Swedish, Finnish, Danish, they're all the same. Icelandic women, ugh, all of them. They're like feminists on steroids, okay? No joke. There's a reason why there's hardly people living up here. The only reason people meet here is because of alcohol. Zena, stuff. I've been around. I've done things. You know, I've done a lot of things in my life. I've been to a lot of party. I mean, thousands of God. And I know I've been around with everything, including women. You know, it's women. You know, no. Only reason people here actually have children, if there wasn't for alcohol in Scandinavia, it would be a dead wasteland. It would be a dead wasteland 1,000 years ago. No joke. So there wouldn't be anyone alive up here. I mean, it's just forget it. So you're right, Zyamorph. I got a little off track here. I'm sorry. You told me about stories from the taxi. Okay, I had the killer, the one guy who I had the murderer. I had plenty of psychos in the taxis, mostly women, but you know, it's a kind of dirt. Like when you're really angry in the taxi, and some guy comes in and he was like, "Just drive," and you're like, "Okay," and you start driving, and you know where to go, Ray. Right, left, right, straight forward, and I just go straight forward, and he says, "Where are you going?" I mean, wow. Every time something like that will happen, I could have killed him. I could have killed just by thinking about it. I get so angry, you know. And those were my prime years also as a kickboxer. I mean, I could have murdered half the population. I've had so many people. People would drive and they would like take up some tobacco and they would like, yeah, I can pay. You know, like hold this, like you're gonna pay. I'm gonna pay you with this. I had so many things in my taxi. Wow. I had one time a woman who was pregnant. She was gonna give birth. Luckily, she didn't give birth in the taxi. I would have freaked out. I had several alarms. Psychopaths. One tried to crash my taxi. It's like you drive to pick up. There's we call it Big Fest, a party outside town, far off outside town, and you drive there. It's like way a lot of people in party, and you come there, and they all come out with this one guy, this big guy. He's like this, you know, like me. He's big, and he's super drunk, and they place him into the taxi. That's not a problem usually, you know. And he sits down in the car next to me, and you're like, okay, cool. Where do you live? And he's like, and you're like, okay, thank you for that. That was awesome, great, because you can tell everyone is smiling inside. We got rid of him. Now I'm stuck with him. Of course, this is just one of the time. He ended up, of course, in jail. He tried to crash my taxi, and I flipped out, and I really flipped out on him. He tried to crash my taxi several times. So, like when you're driving home, he doesn't know where he's going. You're miles away from town and everything. You got to spend 2 hours to get him to jail. You know, this scumbag, and you lose a lot of money in that time. Also, was supposed to be a $100, $200 ride. Now you are stuck with nothing, and you lost a lot of money on a Friday or Saturday night. So usually when you drive a taxi, you gotta get on here in Norway. But night shift, I started like 2:30 in the day, and I would drive until morning 5, 6, until the next driver would come on, and then you wash the taxi at the end of the shift. You know, I would stop at the gas station with the guys and have some fun and wash the taxi and park it, and then you go home and you wind down for an hour, then you go to sleep. You have to work that many hours, otherwise you won't be able to make the same as other people in society. It's terrible. So driving a taxi is suicide. I experienced a lot of things I did things in Norway. If I were caught by the police, I would probably I would never see my license again. Oh my god! But this, of course, was nighttime. But I done things that was incredible. So, yeah, gains before brains, bro. But I'm happy you get to sleep. And, you know, are you still there? Let me check. Participants. I don't know if you're still here. But I had wild psychopaths when I used to drive a taxi. And as I said, women were the worst. But sometimes I would get young girls in the car who were like, yay! And they're really, because most women have terrible taste in music. They want to listen to some MP3 crap, you know. And sometimes at that time when I used to drive, the women would be like, do you have AC/DC? I was like, hey, that's a free cab ride for you. They'd be like, yay! So, you know, just to establish that, you know, some girls are really nice. When you get a woman in the car who like the Doors or AC/DC or something, I was like, wow. So what I would do year after year, everyone would ask me if you can change the music channel. I would say no. I would lie and say that the music channel was destroyed out of pure stubbornness. I refused to play anything that they would listen to. I would have like the classical channel. This was so depressed. Or I would play. Obviously, I don't listen to music now, but at that time I would put on Nick Cave. What was that? It's the most depressing music ever made. The Boatman's Call by Nick Cave. You know, I mean, there's literally songs that goes like, people just ain't no good, do, right? And people will say that it's actually like, well, this is a fun Friday night. I'm like, yep, I refuse to play your gay music, you know. I was such an asshole for so many years. Oh my god, I will do that. Fuck. And it was fun to drive then, you know. I mean, then they were more. in the 2000s, all those first years, I would drive a lot of taxi at nighttime. They were real police then, and they didn't care about us speeding, you know, especially in the night. They would sometimes stop us driving 20, 30, 45, 50 kilometers too fast, and they didn't care. Okay. It's John Boyd, the Opal King. Okay, nice to meet you, John. I mean, now the police in Norway are just women and, you know, sissy, you know, soy boys. It's just pathetic. But then they were real police. They were big men, strong men, broad shoulders men, real policemen back then. And they knew at night that we wanted to drain the cities for the queues so people would get home fast. And so they didn't care about us speeding at night because we were really good at driving, you know, really, really good. We knew what we were doing, and they knew it. So they would just, you know, get people home. That's less action for us, the police, you know. But now the police, they give tickets for everything, so we all quit. I mean, now the police in Norway is a joke. It's just women and weak little men, you know. It's pathetic. I mean, there's no standards anymore. The Norwegian police is a complete joke. It's just a quota of women, and if, you know, it's basically diversity hires on steroids here in Norway. It's a joke. So I couldn't drive a taxi. I mean, they would. In 2018, I drove a year when I took the personal trainer school, and they would stop people for just driving at 3 o'clock in the night, 10 kilometers too fast. It was a joke. So we all quit. All the Norwegian guys quit. You know, everyone. Now it's the only one who drives now are Somali brothers in Norway. They are the only ones who drive taxi now in Norway. Nobody else is driving. I mean, there's basically just Somalis. And it's like one Somali told me, like, yeah, who else is gonna drive? It's not us. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. You know, they're nice guys. So they are the only ones who actually drive here now. So when you come to Norway, take a taxi. It's just the Somalis are driving here. You know, wherever you go in Norway, it's a fishing village. They get one Somali. He's driving the taxi. It's hilarious. I don't know how. You know, it's because we have something called NAV in Norway. It's an unemployed institution. You know, it's basically an institution run by women, of course. And they like send people. Most immigrants in Norway are in Oslo. I mean, all European capitals are a shithole, absolute garbage, absolute trash. That's all the trash is. And I mean, junkies, drug dealers, and the terrible people. People who come here from the third world who are not Muslims, they're terrible. So. But the good, decent men, the Muslims, sometimes they get jobs and they get spread out to Norway. So they drive a taxi and other things. So that's nice. So yeah, I quit my job there. Everyone quit their job. And some years I would drive the big rigs, the trucks. I don't know what you call them in English. You know, the big ones, way up to 50 tons, depending on how you drive. We'll do long tow, but. So now I'm stuck in a motorhome here up in north of Norway. I'm going to drive south, I think, and start working in south of Norway and get a good paying job and meet a Muslim and get married, you know, get some kids, even though I'm getting up to my age. Because I didn't care about those things when I was younger. I was just partying, you know. Then I started lifting again, serious. I lifted from, I can't remember, 2009, 10. I started lifting again after some years. Before that, 2000s, I would lift in the gym and do kickboxing. And before that, I would do judo and archery. I did judo and archery, football. I played football many years archery, a lot of awards. So if I move south, I'm gonna do, I don't know, I can drive a truck or something, you know, in a warehouse. I have done that a lot of years too. I've done a lot of things. I even worked in the sea, in the North Sea on a trawler. But it's actually pretty well paid to drive a truck in a warehouse. I can get a good place where I can drive early in the day, and I can go to the gym at night. That would be beautiful, you know. And I will drive my my motorhome and live in my motorhome to save up money. I'm gonna pay down my motorhome. It should take me like 1 year or something. I don't know, 1 year, one and a half year to pay down my motorhome. So because I refuse to pay and live with other people when I can live in my motorhome, which is fantastic. So not real muscle. Actually, it is real muscle. I'm nutty. It's all real muscle. It's called genetics, bro, and it's called beef, whole milk, and eggs. When I grew up and I was a kid, I would drink every day between 1 and 4 liters of whole milk. Every single day. Every single day. I would continue to grow from I was 16 to I was 22. I was continuing to grow. I became in height too. You know, I would gain about, what was it, 4 centimeters. I would get from when I was 16. I would grow about 4 centimeters until I was 21 or something. So all my muscles are real. You know, I'm a same guy in that picture. That's just a few months ago. There's a reason why I can curl easily 30 kilos per arm with good form. Did it last week. So it's all real muscle. But any questions about lifting, eating? Basically, if you want to WJ1890. If you want to get big and strong, you gotta eat. Just two things: whole milk and beef. That's it. If you can't afford beef, eggs. Can't afford eggs, whatever, fish, fatty fish, mackerel with a lot of fat. You know, eat the liver of the fish if you're fishing yourself. You boil the liver for about 20 minutes. Take off the sack around it, chop it up, and eat it with the fish to get the good fats from the fish, fish liver, like cod and stuff. You wanna eat mostly protein. 98% of everything is just animal protein and fats. If you have to eat anything, carbohydrates that is not essential, you eat that early in the day before the gym, you know, and then maybe a little. Let me see. Green screen. Talk to me, my boy. Let me see now. Let me show you something. This is what people who take the most roids on earth look like. Look like shit. Look at this guy. This is the previous year Mr. Olympia. Look at that fat stomach. That's the American, what's his name? His name is Derek Lunsford. That's someone that's a obese man. Look at that stomach. You get that stomach from taking insulin. And insulin, if you don't take insulin without forcing a lot of carbs into you, you die. If I understand it right. You take insulin and growth hormone, a bunch of peptides. You take a big size of test, and they take trenbolone, which is so dangerous. I mean, that's this. Look up Derek Lunsford before roids, and you will see him what he look natural. It's all of them, though they look like crap. This is a guy who's so fit, and not to mention they take oils and stuff it into them. They literally, it's called synthol and P something, I can't remember. It's literally oil, and they stuff it into their muscles to increase them. It's super dangerous. Yeah, it's bubble gut. It's named after Colombo. What was it? Palumbo gut. Okay. And this is what they have on stage now, Mr. Olympia. And those girly pants. It's so haram. It's disgusting. I can't even look at it. It's absolutely disgusting. So, but it's me. I just cut my hair now. It's terrible. Here's me 3 weeks ago. But I'm also cutting, by the way. I'm a few kilos overweight now, so I'm gonna get lean again now. I lost a lot of weight now during Ramadan. I'm doing real good, so I'm gonna continue after Ramadan with the fasting. Lose the last few kilos off and get lean again. I'm gonna stay lean. I don't bulk, and it's nonsense. I reach my full potential. I mean, I'm so big naturally. So I'm really big. I'm I'm pretty much the biggest guy in the gym. I don't mean that to sound like, you know, I mean, but people, I see people. That's why I hope nobody asks me questions about actually having to get big, you know, because people can't get big because it's a mixture of genetics and what you put in, you know. If you want to know what Norway is like, by the way, we're talking about it. This is Norway. This is a joke. This is a local TV tower. They turn it into a pride flag, even at Christmas. Okay? Those pagan worshippers. Look at this. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. They have this light show on our local TV tower. Okay? And it's disgusting. You know, this is Norway. This is Norway. This is Christmas, where they are supposed to celebrate their so-called savior. You know, the human being, the prophet Isa Salam. When they turn it into a pride show, it's disgusting. I mean, Norway is such a joke. Let's get something more halal on screen. Me, with that ugly haircut, I look like crap. So. By the way, today I was going to make a video, but I gotta make good videos, a little more in sync, shorter videos that talk about the things I'm gonna talk about. Like here, you can see my shoulders, the trapezius going down to the lateral part of the deltoids, to the anterior part of the deltoid, and also my posterior part, the back. Shoulders is so important, you know. If you're gonna get big shoulders, the most important thing is overhead press, either with dumbbells, overhead press, you know, or behind the neck press with barbell behind the neck press. That actually also gives you wider lats. See, secret trick. And also, of course, just basic lateral raises with dumbbells. And you don't have to do any sort of posterior raising of the front. That's complete nonsense. I can count on two hands where I've done actually anterior raises with anything. All I do is I lay on the the inclines on the Smith machine, or the machine that presses upwards like this. Because when you presses, here's my chest, you know, here. When you presses something straight forward, you won't get the anterior part of the shoulder flexed. So you gotta press but upwards like this. Now I can feel it getting big and swollen in my hand. You know, upwards like this. You can see how huge my anterior part of my the front of my you know, deltoids are. So when you push upwards, like you start a little forward, but then you go upwards like this. That's how you grow the big anterior part. So in the same with, if you have a little high grip for rowing, you train the posterior part, the back of the shoulders. So calisthenics, I don't do calisthenics. You know, it's I can do some simple stretches for my back and stuff, but I don't do calisthenics. I mean, most calisthenics guys are really skinny and thin, and they look really buff, but they're actually really skinny. I could probably curl them. There's a few of them who are a little bigger and stronger, but they also, I don't know, I think they train secretly bodybuilding in the gym to get actual gains. But some of them are really strong and really incredible, so a few of them. But calisthenics is, I don't know, it's not for me, you know. But I always say, people say, oh, I'm so fast. Okay, I'm Gratz, bro. You can run really fast away from me. I can run through you. I'll break you in half when I hit you, no joke. Okay? So I would rather, I mean, when I worked as a bouncer, really big men will come up to me and make sure I can literally push a big, strong man, and he will fly backwards several meters, no joke. I would rather be able to do that than to be able to hang and flex upwards and dangle in the roof and all of those things. So for me, it's all about the mass. But people are different. Some people like the running aspects of things, and some are the shields. So some are the shield walls, and some are the archers that do all of the running and do the scouting and stuff. So everyone have their place in today's society too, if you're an ectomorph or mesomorph or endomorph body-wise. But yeah, I don't know how xenomorph, how big you are. If you have calisthenics, if you're built for it, you should definitely do it. It's fantastic. I mean, yeah, you should do it, you know. But I would say do a lot of, start with push-ups, you know, to grow big, because a man's whole from the middle of the chest up to his neck, including his neck, is a man's best feature. His how it's built, you know. Yeah, if you're small, that's fine. My father was really small compared to me, but that's you can still actually get pretty big. Look up guys who are ectomorph at sin, how big they would get. You can actually become really thick and big, but you gotta eat, man. You gotta eat real animal protein. Remember what I said. You will not gain 1 gram of muscle by eating any carbohydrates, any garbage like vegetables, trash, and all those things. Only from animal protein. It's more than 90% bioavailable for the body. You stuff yourself until the food doesn't taste good anymore. Then you know you're full. Unlike when you eat a lot of carbs, you can stuff yourself and stuff yourself. You can stuff yourself, you know, because it's just carbs. Because I cut myself while shaving. I look like, you know. It's hard during Ramadan. I know my stomach shrinks. So, but this is you gotta do. You gotta get up in the morning, eat 10 eggs. Okay, eat 10 eggs. And then when it's over, you do a dates like me in the gym. I always break my fast with water and dates in the gym. But one thing I gotta tell you, man, you have to start with creatine. Remember we talked about this. Okay, take 10 grams in the morning and 10 grams later in the day, or take 20 grams in the morning. You have to get on creatine. It will increase the water retention inside your muscle, in your cells, making you more healthy and making you more full. And you will actually feel after a few weeks, and it will increase your strength big time. Yeah, you're taking creatine. That's fantastic. Did you buy it now because I said so, or did you take it before we talked last time? Because creatine is fantastic. And remember, oh yeah, you said you sleep better. Remember what I said about creatine helping you sleep? You had it before. That's good. Yeah. But remember what I said about taking push-ups, okay? Le confinement arrive. I don't speak the French. So if I speak French, I have to have a cigarette in my mouth. Le confinement arrive. Probably mean I'm too confident. That's okay. I can back it up in the gym, so that's okay. But 2 creatine, 20 grams a day, okay? How tall are you? How tall are you, Xenomorph? How tall are you, and how are you wide-shouldered, or are you really thin-shouldered? Are you ectomorph, as in thin shoulder? Are you a little wide-shouldered, as in mesomorph? You know, are you really wide like me, so you endomorph shoulders? 175. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's good. That's the normal height for most men on planet Earth. So that you're not actually small. Then you're like, to me, you're like hair. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Average 75 kilo. That's not bad actually. That is not actually. If you said you were 50 or 60, that would be a disaster. There's a lot of guys at 175 that's 60 kilos. That's skinny. So you're not too bad. You know. You're not too bad. Take creatine, stuff yourself with fish, milk, whole milk, and eggs, or beef, whatever you can afford, as long as it's animal protein, you know, and halal, my brother. Just stuff yourself, because the more you stuff yourself with animal protein, remember, the body cannot pee out the protein through the kidneys. That is bullshit and nonsense. That's so old. It's been, you know, people, they laugh at it now, and you cannot, get rid of it. When you eat a lot of protein, of course I eat only halal meat. So when you eat a lot of protein, the body will store the amino acids. Oh, it's easy, super easy. And they will store the amino acids in your blood, in your intestines. You know what I mean? You know. The body will, your body will space out the amino acid throughout the day. Remember this. This is super important. That bullshit about eating 25 grams of protein and then enough, that is nonsense. Can you imagine the cave people hunting for 3 days, fasted, super ripped, and then taking down a buffalo or something and stuffing themselves just with the liver and the heart of the animal and so much fat and become super bulked? You think they would be like, and eat like 25 grams, and let's carry the rest because we can't eat any more protein. That's all the body can take in. No, that's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. There's a lot of top medical doctors like Anthony Chaffee. You should check up him. Anthony Chaffee, Chaffee. He's a top medical doctor, neurosurgeon, who's an expert in food, in amino acid. He's an absolute top tier guy on YouTube, and he's a real medical doctor. He have helped thousands of people, and he's buff as AF, and he hardly trains. He's Anthony Chaffee, Chaffee. Start with him, and you can learn a lot about nutrition. So stuff yourself with eggs, just stuff yourself until it doesn't taste good anymore. Then you feel you're full, okay? And then you do it again. Because the thing is, when you eat only animal protein and fat, you can eat 10 times more animal protein and fat than if you also eat carbs, okay? This is the clue. And you won't need vitamin C and crap like this when you only eat animal protein and fat, because the neural pathways in your body will compete for vitamin C with glucose, okay? With glucose, your brain's fuel, your body's fuel, the fuel you use in your blood. People say you have high blood sugar. That's basically the glucose in your muscle. Muscle doesn't mean anything like what Anatoly said. Anatoly. Who's Anatoly? Anatoly, the plane, the Russian plane. Muscle mean actually everything. It means everything, actually. Sure, even a thin girl can hit with the back of her ankle a man's head and knock him out. But when you've done a lot of fighting like me, and I've not just been fighting in the ring, I've been on my earlier years. I've done a lot of fighting, real fighting. I even had to have a surgery once on my nose because a guy hit me so hard he broke his entire hand hitting me, and I just laughed it off. I mean, when you do kickboxing like me many years, you understand that muscle mass equals, when someone hits you. I can have a thin guy, he can jump up, and a karate guy, and hit me everything you have in the side. I just won't even flinch. I won't even move. I'll take him with both my hands, lift him up, and throw him the hell away, okay? Muscle means everything. Obviously, if you're really big in muscle, but you're really slow, because there's a lot of bodybuilders who trains, they don't train explosive and fast, power building. I mean, not powerlifting, but powerlifting bodybuilding style, like really fast and explosive reps that you use to fast twitch muscle. Remember Mike Tyson, when he was young, had a lot of muscles. He was so fat with his fast twitch muscle. The problem with a lot of bodybuilders today that takes a lot of gear, and they stand always like these slow, super eccentric, because they think that this is the way to train, which is bullshit. And they're standing super slow, and they're like, everything is super. They don't understand that there's different twitch fibers that you use. A lot of times the body will react differently, so they becomes. You see them trying to fight and box, they're so slow. It's like even when they try to be fast, they're just so slow because they've been in the gym 10 years just doing everything super slow, and they're because of the negative part of the rep and all of this nonsense. This is bullshit. Listen to Lee Haney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, all the old school guys. Even Jay Cutler will tell you this is bullshit, this is nonsense. Nobody did this. The old school guys, and they ate a ton of beef. They would train super fast, really, Roy Robinson, all of them, The old school guys would do fast. They wouldn't drop the weight the other way, but they would do, sometimes they would actually drop it, but to get the explosiveness of the lifting, just really fast, just really powerlifting, old school. Like Lee Haney said, stimulate, not annihilate. That's how you grow muscle, okay? The problem with most people in the gym today, they're basically pussies. The guys, they sit on their phone, they take and they're like, okay, this, and they pick up their phone and they're scrolling like this, like a little girl for 5 minutes, and they put their phone down, and they will half-ass some reps, and they're like, oh. And they sit there like, and they spend grass on the cable curl. You've been rowing on the 15 minutes. I go in, I do 2 sets. I've done more on 2 sets than they have done for 15 months of rowing. No joke. How long do you rest between sets? It depends what I'm doing. If it's squats, obviously you will rest longer. If it's bench press, you will rest longer. Even Romanian deadlifts. But if it's the problem is, how much intensity you put into it. Okay. Now ignore all the PT, personal trainer talk. I am also a certified personal trainer, but ignore that because personal trainers are mostly shit, no joke. So when I say intensity, I mean Dorian Yates, Mike Menser, Dorian Yates, old school. Wave and flow. Hello. Hello, my sister. So, well, let's say I'm doing a tricep push down, close grip, neutral grip, you know, just pronated grip. Not you can do supinated pronated. Just when I start off with the whole, you know, the whole rack of weights. I start off with pretty much 2/3 of all the weight. That's the first set. And I do 20 reps because I'm so big and strong. Most people can't even do half of that for 10 reps. Okay. Now then I go all the way down again, and there's like 5 bars left on the metal. I go down to almost to the end. And I do another one. I do 15 reps. I go down to the end, and I do 10, 12 reps. Okay, that's the max of the stack. That's super heavy. I make sound like in the end. Everyone in the gyms who think I'm showing off, but I'm not. That's real, genuine struggle. Okay, that's why I'm so big and strong. So between those sets, I take a maximum 1 minute rest. Or sometimes, if I'm really the last 2 sets, I'm struggling. When I do only 10 or 15 reps with the whole stack, 80, 100 kilos. I do maybe 1.5, 2 minutes of rest. So it's all about the intensity you put into the actual lifting, you see. Xyomorph, you have to consider the amount of strain you're putting on your body, because when I lift, I can literally get my heart rate up to 120, 130 just by doing tricep pushdowns or bicep curls. I bicep curl 30 kilos per arm. In the end, I'm like, and I put them back. Yes. And you can feel your heart, you know, you feel it, you know. So when you get basically think about it, when you get your heart rate down to 100, that's your golden ticket. That's everything. It's like you're doing super sprinting on the treadmill. You jump off and on. You get your heart rate down to 100, then you can lift again. It's the same with whatever you think about, whatever you're doing in the gym. When you feel hard to get down to that, you're not actually, you know, heaving after breath. You know, you are lifting, but you're done. You know, if you are lifting and you stop lifting and you're still the same 100 heart rate, unless you're doing a simple warm-up set because maybe you have a place that hurts a little, so you're being very careful at first, that's fine. But if you're doing a normal warm-up set, 50% of your full max, and you do, let's say, 10 reps and you're still at 100, that's not, you should lift more reps then. So if you take, let's say, as I said, the tricep push down, you push down, you know, the cable, when the stack go up, and if you do 10 reps and you're still at 100, it's too light. Okay, you can either do 5 more and feel that you get a little more, you know, and then you stop for a minute or 45 seconds, depending how much. If your heart rate is 110, you can, you know, down to 30 seconds rest, you know. And by the way, supersetting is absolute nonsense, bullshit, unless you're really pressed for times and you're doing two. If you go in and all you're doing quick triceps and quick for your biceps, you only have 10 minutes. That's all you have. That's one thing. But if you have the time, you get the rest first, because you can actually lift harder and more if you actually get the proper rest instead of supersetting. Supersetting is more of a ego thing you do, you know. So if you look up Dorian Yates, heavy duty, or Mike Menser, don't do that. You're gonna rip and tear. But you can do that to some degree. 70% of that intensity that they do, Mike Menser, you know, Mike Menser intensity, because that's something for people who are extremely advanced and are running on a lot of gear, you know, steroids. So be careful remember this golden rule. Get your, whatever you're doing, your heart rate should be around 100, you know, just, you feel that you're not out of breath. You don't have to, if you're still breathing, you should rest. Okay. In terms of weight loss, where should beginners start? Okay, well, actually, it's super easy. I hate this angle. Looks like I have a big chin. My phone is like down here. Weight loss. Basically, you have, okay, I'm going to respond to you in flow really simple as I can and really easy, because I love that you ask me this. I could help everyone in the gym, but nobody listens. Metabolism, all of these things, that will come after a few weeks. Don't worry about any of those things. Basically, you have 3 macronutrients: protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Anything that is not animal protein and animal fat, let's say a fish and the fat on the fish, the cow milk, that also have all 3 nutrients. Think about the third micronutrient, carbohydrates, is not essential for your body. Not essential whatsoever. You do not need 1 gram of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are sugars. Doesn't matter if it's maltodextrin, sucrose, fructose, it doesn't matter. It's all sugars. All the sugar react the same way in the body. And there's no, if people say you should eat your fiber, no, you should not eat your fiber. It's not bad. It's not good for you. You cannot digest fiber. It makes your, it's not bad. It's not, it's terrible for your gut. And you cannot digest it. So everything comes out again, okay, at the bathroom. So you do not need carbohydrates. If you have to wave and flow, you got to get your carbohydrates down to maximum 20 to 30 grams a day. And you use the 2, 3, 4 weeks while you decrease your carbohydrates. You increase your animal protein and fat, okay? Because animal fat will keep you super satiated, but you cannot stop like this because you're going to get cravings. But even if you go down slow, if you get cravings, can you drink whole milk? Then drink whole milk, okay? Yeah, Gatorade is fine, as long as there's not sugar in it. You have to take slowly down your carbohydrates. Carbohydrates makes you fat, and vegetable oils makes you fat. When Ali Dawa and the team, they buy the chicken in the outside when they're eating outside, those chicken and fries have been drenched in seed oils. If it's rapid seed oils or sunflower seed oils or soy is the worst on that. They give pigs here in Norway soy in their grains to make them fat. Okay, a pig that is ruminous runs outside and just eating the natural, he will be thin, have a subcutaneous fat underneath for the good hormones. You have to get your carbohydrates down. By the way, Jay, think like Gatorade. Remember, these artificial sweeteners will actually messes up your hormone levels and can actually keep you gaining weight or become or stalemate. It's actually really bad for you. Artificial sweeteners will actually keep you fat and mess up your hormones. On that note, this is going to be a shock for you, Wave and Flow 70. Vegetables are not good for you. Vegetables that grows above the ground is pure death for your body. Vegetables that grows under the ground are full of sugars. A potato, all the starch in the potato turns to pure sugar in your body. Same with carrots, same with onions, now I love onions. I have a little onions for the taste. It's really good. But if you eat potatoes, like sweet potato is better than white potato. But white rice is the best. Get that rice that is. Keep the white rice to, 100 grams of white rice that's uncooked is usually around 80 grams of carbohydrates. But you want to, so you boil, let's say 40 grams. That's about 20 grams of carbohydrates, or something like that. You can do the math yourself. But so it's a super easy. You have a weight. You pour the white rice as if let's say you take 30 grams of white rice 2 times a day, before the gym and after the gym or something. You space it out after you go down, because I really like sweet potatoes with salmon, and the heavy cream. I love it, but like, even though, and you have to just eat the fat natural to the animals, like heavy cream, the white, that thick they have to fish. I love it. Like one of those cans at 3.5 deciliters is 1,000 calories. Now, I don't know, Wave and Flow, what body type you are, okay? If you're ectomorph, really thin, if you're a mesomorph, the half thick body, like broad shoulder, or if you're endomorph, like me. If you see many girls they're really wide bodies, they have wide faces. They are endomorphs. That means you can't even look at a chocolate and you will actually gain weight. You can't even, if you eat a lot of whole milk, you'll actually become really big. Whole milk is king, but only use it, Wave and Flow, when losing weight for Whole milk, never the low fat, because then the body will concentrate on the milk sugars and raise your insulin. Your insulin going up from eating carbs is your fat storage hormone. You have to keep your insulin down, okay? Now I'm gonna write a name in the chat. Anthony. I want to make you to make this guy your #1 best friend. He's a medical, so he's a top neurosurgeon. He's one of the best. Read the comments under his video. He interviews girls on how they fix their bodies. I mean, he's like, there are tons of doctors like him, top medical heart surgeon in the world, who all agree with him. But look up this guy on YouTube. He will revolutionize your life. He will change your entire existence. You will fat will go boom down, and you actually get more muscle, and your female parts will pop. No joke. I can put it in a nice way, halal way. It's like one of the women on YouTube called the Steak and Butter Gal. Steak and Butter Gal. Check her out too. She interviews female doctors on how to fix female hormones. Okay. Yeah, you have to check those out. Basically, if you look, she's called Steak and Butter Gal. Steak. Steak and Butter Gal. She also interviews a lot of female top doctors who repair women's hormones, and they become so healthy. I mean, we're talking women in their 50s who get their periods back, okay? They are incredible. Most women, they don't understand that your hormones are your lifeline. If you eat carbohydrates, just 100 grams a day many times, you will just literally become so obese. And stay the hell away, Wave and Flow, from oats and wheats, please. Oats and wheat even makes your skin bad, okay? Most people don't know this. Oats are it's literally horse food. Can't get past the Muslim thing. That's too shame for you. You should stay here. I can teach you something. Anyways, so wheats and oats get down to an absolute minimum, okay? Oats is not good for you. All that fiber comes out again. You can't digest fiber. And the green vegetables that grows above the ground are full of oxalates. They poison your thyroid. That messes up your hormones and your endocrine system, aka your nervous system. And what happens when they mess up, green vegetables are full. Bologna is no good. No, it's not food. It's crap, unless you're dying, of course. So green vegetables are full of oxalates. Now, he had a lot of videos about this, Anthony Shafee. Okay, you make him your best friend. Watch him every single day, and this is what you do, my sister. You see every one of his videos I find interesting, where he interviews women and everything. Go underneath the videos and read the comments from women who are replying how their life. There are thousands of comments saying, women are saying, I've been to the doctor for 20 years with inflammation, blah blah blah. I'm thick and I have my hand hurts. I'm fat. I can't get rid of the fat on my stomach. And you fixed my life in 5 months, literally. Okay. Read the comments on his videos. This is the real deal. There's no influencer bullshit. There's no nonsense, science nonsense. I could name you 10 top medical doctors in the world, but this guy, you just go to him, Anthony Shafee. He will transform your life and fix you up. Also, remember, you cannot get any nutrition from green vegetables. Nothing. Zero. Because they are full of anti-nutrients. The anti-nutrients are the thing that makes you pass so much gas from eating greens, because it messes up your gut, your colon, okay? The anti-nutrients hinders absorption into your body. And even if you could actually absorb the nutrients, which they have only a few of for animals, because they can actually ferment this thing in their gut system. You know, they have 4 stomachs like a cow. It can for weeks grain this thing. Even if you can ferment this, you would have to eat between 20 and 40 kilos a day, every single day, to get the few hundred grams of nutrients to aminos to produce proteins for your body. Okay, remember, a mid-sized ape eat like 10, 20, 30 kilos a day. There's a reason why a rabbit eats every single day, eating a cow eating every single day, eating kilos of kilos, okay? Because you have to get that much. When you're eating a salad, that's not even 0.0000000.1% of nutrition you need if you could actually ferment these things in your stomach and get nutrients from it. The only thing you get is gas, okay? Eggs is king, but the yolk of the egg, the yellow, the superfood, half of it is protein, half of it is fat. It's a
superfood. It makes you big, buff, strong. It makes women hormones king, get super healthy children, just like women needs beef and eggs and whole milk. The egg whites have 3 anti-nutrients in it. That's why you don't drink the egg white raw, because you can only get and absorb about 24% of the egg white. That is why you want to make the egg, like scramble it or something. Don't fry it in the pan to hell, but just scramble something. So what about those crazy weight loss drinks everyone on the internet? Avoid them like death. They're bullshit, they're nonsense. They tell you to stop eating this and this. So basically you could drink water and follow what they say about not eating this and this, and you'll actually, weight loss drinks are bullshit. They're nonsense, they're crap, okay? Eat eggs, eat beef, okay? Eat lamb, eat fish. You stuff yourself with animal protein, you will get super full. Because when the food stops tasting good, that's when you know you're actually full. Because when you're eating carbs, you can eat carbs, you can stuff yourself. Because raising insulin in your body is the thing that actually damages your arteries, okay? Then cholesterol comes in and tries to fix those arteries. So stupid, uneducated doctors here in Norway and Western countries actually think that, the cholesterol is a bad thing. But what they don't understand is they try to repair those things, your arteries, okay? Because of high insulin damage your arteries. High insulin is your fat storage hormone. You can only raise your insulin by eating carbohydrates. And when you raise your insulin, you damage your leptin hormone in your body. The leptin hormone is what tells you that you are full. That's why when you take 1,000 control groups and give them the same calories in only animal protein and fat and in carbohydrates, they can overstuff themselves with carbohydrates, because they can eat and eat. Because carbohydrates, it's like a sugar rush. You can eat. It's empty. It's basically empty. That word empty calories. It's only for animal, non-animal products like carbohydrates. The leptin level gets destroyed. Your ghrelin levels in your stomach, that basically tells you that in your body, your hormone that tells you you're full, that will actually go in and tell you you're full when you're eating. If you just sit down, Wave and Flow, and you cook 15 eggs, try that when you're empty, your stomach is empty, and you start eating. You have a little sea salt. Always add sea salt. Sea salt is king. You don't need the ionized salt. Eggs are full of ionization. You don't need any of that. So add sea salt to taste. You eat eggs, only eggs. I can promise you will be full after 3, 5, 7 eggs, depending how much, you will be super full so much faster than you can eat those. And you get king food that actually makes you lose weight. Remember, just 2 of the actual ingredients, the amino acids in eggs, actually makes you lose weight. People don't know this. It's the same with beef. Red beef actually makes you lose fat. They have carnitine in red beef. Carnitine, by the way, it keeps your mitochondria, your power cell in the body that produces ATP, amino phosphate. Okay. If you keep your mitochondria healthy, you don't get cancer. That's a simple trick. You don't like eggs. And that was just an example. You can eat fish. You can eat chicken. You can eat lamb. You can eat whatever you like. But not vegan. Okay, vegan makes you fat. No joke. Okay, vegan is crap. Okay, you cannot absorb as anything vegan. You get sick. You messes up your hormones. Your estrogen levels will be. Okay. Just whatever you stuff yourself, as long as it's animal protein and fats. And as I said, don't stop like this. You know how people who are junkies, they stop it, they get they want to die. Don't do that. Take it slowly over a couple of weeks, Wave and Flow, and just cut down on all the carbs while you increase, He's ancient. Yeah, I'm ancient. Sometimes I see people with big muscles coming out of the gym and they just light up a cigarette. Yeah, they shouldn't do that. You shouldn't smoke. It's terrible. Carnitine is not effective orally. No, you only get about 1/3 of the absorption rate compared to those who take it through shots. That's why you eat beef. Then it's actually super absorbing to your body. You can take carnitine, but you have to. If it says on the bottle, take 2 pills. I take 7, no problem. So you take a lot of. You have to. If you're taking any sort of supplement, you have to take more if it's orally than it actually says on the bottle. That's just a disclaimer for people. Okay. And remember that. So as I said, mitochondria wave and flow keeps you healthy. And remember this wave and flow. If you know any people who get cancer, any people whatsoever who gets cancer, carbohydrates are the only thing that can stimulate cancer cells growing. And there are the world's foremost medical doctors, chiefs on who studies cancer, who have videos on this, talks about this. And also Anthony Shaffer talks about this. Cancer cells will die out if you only give them animal protein and fat. They will literally starve out. I drink tea. That is why Muslim has such low cancer rate compared to other people, because they do fasting in Ramadan. Because fasting just will starve out the cancer cells. Okay, I have a woman here in Norway who's the daughter of my mother's friend, and she actually started low carbohydrate when she got cancer 4 times. Also, she was stupid enough to put the arm ticket in her, from the 19, which made cancer, cancer a big thing again, where people get turbo cancers from that 19, Mr. 19 the ticket. Anyways, so you remember, if you know people who if you get any cancer, anything ever, if you don't eat carbohydrate, I can promise you cancer will. They done studies that lasted 15 years where they take 2 groups. One group would do fasting and low carb, and one group would eat normally after being on that thing that kills cancer. They poison your body with that chemotherapy. And all the people who were low carb and fasting would have insanely superior results to the people who did not. Okay, and survival rate. So just remember this: carbohydrates will stimulate cancer to grow. This is not medical opinion for YouTube, but again, go to real medical doctor Anthony Shaffer, Philip Ovadia, Ken Berry, Sean Baker, tons of other world's foremost medical doctors. So carbohydrates. I love carbs myself. I eat dates. I do dates. If I had to just eat one type of carbohydrates the rest of my life, it would be dates, because dates are actually low on the glycemic index. It's sunnah, of course. We don't go against the sunnah. I would rather die, preferably, and but I would take a few dates in the day before gym. Bread is pure death for you. You shouldn't eat bread. As I said, everything made of wheat and oats. That's basically 99% of all stuffed dates. It does, as long as it's pure date, just dates that have not been added. If they add chocolate stuff to them and stuff like that, just normal, just pure dates, just dates. That's it. I don't know what stuffed dates. Well, if there's stuff with meat, then it's good. Yeah, you shouldn't eat bread. You're gonna be a little fatty. And remember, bread, just like all other breads, are just carbohydrates. Okay. Almonds are pure death for you. Don't eat almonds. All nuts are pure death for you. 600 grams of almonds will kill a adult male. So steroids, no, I'm natural. I wouldn't take steroids now. I have tested it once many years ago when I was already super big, and did nothing for me. I got high blood pressure and I cut it out just 1 year. It did nothing for me. So I was not a hyper responder, it's called. Thank you, Jay. Ask me any question. Now, bread is death for you. Bread consists of, but if you're gonna eat bread, people, okay, I try to tell my dear mother this. She loved the whole grain bread. I tell her it's so bad for you. Super white bread that is not ultra processed. It's basically just wheat, water, and salt, and yes, sugar in it. Okay, that's perfectly fine, actually, if you're not eating the whole bread. If you're eating 3-4 loaves of bread, I don't know if what is that? You have to explain it to me. White bread that is not ultra. They know the Americans, their food is pure cancer, but normal white bread that we have in Europe, that is not anything, a lot of grains and stuff. It's just pure white bread, simply made, simple. And you take, and this is what I'm going to say now, and you better listen up because I'm going to lose it. Only eat real butter. There are literally 1,000 videos online of girls who are fat, who have diabetes, who only eat sticks of butter, real butter made of milk, and gain all the obesity in just a few weeks, and in 2 weeks they lose the diabetes. It's gone. Remember this: you do not get fat from animal fat. You get fat from vegan fat and carbohydrates. Okay, seriously, okay, because vegan fats produces inflammation in the body and gets you to gain weight. Okay, so you're eating a whole nutritionist food, you're gonna get fat AF. Okay, vegan fats is what they give animals in Norway to fatten them up. Okay, they get fat, especially soya are the worst. Eat real butter when you make your food, everything in real butter. Okay, collab with Aaron and Diatro anytime soon? I don't think so. I'm a nobody. Maybe in a couple of years we'll see. I'm content now by being a nobody. My life is the gym, so I just want to die a martyr and be on the East Front someday in 10 years. And sorry, iftar, lol. Oh, it's iftar for you now. Really? Nice. What are you going to eat? Tell me now what you're going to eat. Anyways, white bread. You take, let's say, 2 loaves of white bread. Okay? You take real butter, a thick level of real butter. You put it on the counter with some plastic over it or whatever, so it's soft. The real butter, you have a thick layer of real butter. Then you take, I don't know what you call it in English, pålegg, the food you put on top of your bread, and you take like lamb that's chopped into nice pieces with some salt on, and you have a ton of that on top of it, and you eat that with whole milk. It tastes 1,000 times better than any you can imagine or anything on the crap on your bread, or you just a thick layer of cheese, real cheese. Just remember, cheese will actually entice your hormones, makes you actually crave. Remember, milk and everything dairy product have casomorphins in them, which makes it really hard to lose weight. So if you're trying to lose weight, Wave and Flow, you also have to, I'm sorry to say it, after the initial weeks of drinking whole milk to kill craving, you have to get off milk or keep milk to a minimum, like 1 a day. But because milk is a superfood, okay? If I could eat just 3 things in this world, it would be beef, whole milk, and dates. That's it. I would be so super happy. Okay, super happy. Oh my God, just thinking about whole milk and beef is so good. Change photo. So now I don't have many photos on my new phone. That's the thing. Let me show you. This is what I used to eat some years ago. Here's a hamburger. Now, so no seed oils, Wave and Flow. When you're eating out, everything is made in seed oils, okay? Everything outside is made in seed oils. You have to get off seed oils. Go outside and take one, okay? Green screen. Remember, I'm on my phone. I'm a PC guy. I'm not a phone guy. Let's see. Green screen. Picture, camera, picture. Okay, how do I take a phone while streaming? Let me see here. This should be quick. I'm sorry. Let me see. Absolute haram picture came up. Nice. I use that to tell people that something is illegal. So, green screen. Oh, okay. Wait. Sure. Okay, 2 seconds. I'm gonna take a picture. Can you hear me? Let me know if you still can hear me. You should be able to hear me. That's outside now, right outside. You can see where I live. You should be able to see it in a few seconds now. It's really boring. Really, really boring. What if you're lactose from milk? Then just drink no lactose, okay? Just drink no lactose milk, okay? Lactose is I can drink 4 liters of milk every day. I love everything, but oh, it's freezing. No, actually no, it's actually not freezing. It's like 0 now, so it's actually not cold now whatsoever. I can go outside with a shirt on now. It's just 0 Celsius now, so around 0. Actually, maybe it's 1 or 2 degrees. So it's like you know, summertime here. The bushes, by the way, was a moose there eating a few days ago. Bad moose. Lactose goes out and take one. Sounds delicious. Yeah, I mean, wave and flow chicken is nice. You can stuff yourself with chicken. Chicken doesn't have the all the fantastic good fat that's in beef. The fat in red beef is king for your hormones. Okay, you always have to think about your hormones. Okay. No, that's not summer. I'm saying it's like hot now, like summer here. It's like 2-3 Celsius here. You know, to us that's summer. I live up in north of Norway. I live way above the Arctic Circle. Okay, that's so put it this way: the Arctic Circle in America is way above Alaska. So now you know I live on top of the world. Yeah, stuff yourself with the chicken. You know, chicken is great. It has very low quality of fat. Just eat the fat. Fat lamb, chicken, you know, you have to stuff yourself with these things. And if you are hungry, Wave and Flow, when you're changing your diet, okay, you want to lose fat, seriously, stuff yourself with animal protein. Just stuff yourself. Is bacon good to eat or pork chops? Well, bacon is good. I mean, if you're eating that, I can't eat it because it's haram. It's illegal for me. But look up the actor who had, you know, that comedy show, King of Queens. That guy, that comedy actor, you know who he is, King of Queens. He literally was super fat, and all he did was he ate only bacon. He called bacon diet. He only ate bacon, and he lost all this extra fat in just a few weeks. So, you know, and eating, and that's just fat, you know. Animal fat will make you lose fat because, okay, I'm going to explain this to you guys super easy, okay? Your body in your Randall cycle, it chooses between using carbs as fuel or fat as fuel. When you stop eating carbs, your body will take the fat from your body and just burn fat, okay? So when you eat protein, you know, animal meat and fat, it won't switch to carbohydrates, which will stop your body from burning fat. So you will only burn fat 24/7. That's why keto is working. So when you're eating just fat, your body will burn just fat all the time in your gluconeogenesis in your liver. Your liver will just burn fat. And the good thing about gluconeogenesis in your liver, your body runs on glucose, you know, sugar. Your muscles contract because of glycogen, okay, which is sugar. And all of that is produced from fat, from your body. That is why carbohydrates is not an essential macronutrient. Otherwise, the Inuits would be running to the pharmacy and buy, you know, carbs or whatever. They don't do that. They just eat, you know, animal fats and protein. They're super healthy. So think about when you're always eating carbohydrates. It takes about 24 hours to a week for that thing to actually become things that your body uses for energy. Okay. Now you stuff yourself with some high sugar crap, immediately that will go to your blood, yes, and erase your blood sugar, but it won't be actual energy for your muscles. That takes, when you people say they're going to carb load for a running, they have no clue what they're talking about. You can't carb load for a running. That's why all the runners in the 70s all got the diabetes. So, and they stopped that nonsense. They're all like keto now. So when you raise your insulin, you get blood sugar. That's why you feel like you're okay. When you take a caffeine pill, I stopped drinking coffee, by the way, because of the poison in it. But I take a caffeine pill in the morning, I feel quicker, much faster, because the synthetic caffeine goes to my bloodstream. You know, it's the same principle when you're eating food. The food takes a lot of things, a long time to actually become glycogen for your muscles. You know, when if you're fasted like now, Wave and Flow, super fasted, you could go out now and run for a week and have energy left for forever and ever and ever until your body percentage fat has come down to less than 10%. The longest, a guy whose name was Angus, a Scottish guy, he didn't eat for over a year because he was so fat. All he did was drink water. He checked with the doctor and took a pill every day. He didn't need it, but he took like what's it called? A whole vitamin. Because as long as you have fat on your body doesn't need to add anything. Because just don't think about calories as a thing, because your body is not a closed system. Okay. It's not 1-to-1 ratio. Just like a calorie is not a calorie. Green calories doesn't count because you cannot absorb them, Fiber calories doesn't count because your body cannot absorb fiber. So you have to think about it like energy, okay? Your body burns the energy that is a fuel. So when you eat animal protein and fat, your body will burn fat 24/7, hence making you fat. Wave and flow. When you are doing Ramadan, and if you're doing it correctly, not stuffing yourself with carbs, you're gonna lose at least 10 kilos, 5-10 kilos of fat during Ramadan. Why? Because you are in a ketogenic state. You're just burning fat. When your body is empty during the day, you get that craving that you can feel when your body is empty, right? When you're fasting in Ramadan. That's when you are burning, your body is starting to burn just fat. You just burn fat. I just gained 2-3 kilos. Yeah, you're eating the wrong things, my sister. You're eating the wrong things. You cannot stuff yourself with carbs. You're gonna go up. Carbs and seed oils, my sister. You're gonna get super fat. Okay. Take tonight and just prepare food and eat animal protein and fat. It's too bad you can eat eggs. You just eat something that makes you feel full from animal fat. But again, just go down to 70% the next days, okay? That we don't really eat protein at iftar. You should eat protein at iftar. You should eat only protein at iftar. That's it. No wonder you're gaining weight, my sister. Of course. You eat carbohydrates. You know what happens when you eat carbohydrates after you fast? You get that poundage. That's your insulin level going hello to the moon, because your insulin is spiking super high because you're actually in a ketogenic state of your body. You're burning fats, okay? You are in prime fat burning. And then when you're stuffing yourself with carbs, it's one thing to take a few dates, because dates is not so high on the glycemic index. It won't raise your insulin levels too much, okay? But when you eat other things, when you eat your stuff, your insulin level will shoot up. Remember, insulin is your fat storage hormone. It makes you, everything you did through that day, in 10 minutes you have lost it all by stuffing yourself with carbs. That is why your first meal on a keto diet, the number one golden rule in the world for every millions of people who has lost all their fat on, is to eat just fat and protein when you break your fast, okay? You won't get the insulin level high, you won't get the heart poundage, you will feel much better, and your body will continue to grow fat. It's like a keto trick people use when they are going to a birthday party. People who are ketogenic diet, they feel like they have to take a big slice of cake. What do? At an hour before they go, they stuff themselves with animal fat. Even just cold sticks of butter, which taste so good, they stuff themselves with animal fat. Because when that fat comes to your intestines in your stomach, it will actually hinders the body from shooting up the insulin level. Okay? So think about that, how fat prevents your insulin from rising. Okay? When you eat fat, insulin level is like this. Eat protein, it's a little higher. Carbohydrates, hello! Here we come, getting fat again. So you have to, my sister, get your carbs down, all that crap down. No seed oils, no greens that grows above the vegetables. If you're eating like carrots, I love carrots, but carrots with real fat, with the meat is so good. But keep that to a moderate level, because one big carrot is a lot of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. So you have to be careful, okay? It's better to have just some chopped onions or something for the good taste, I think 4.5% of 100 grams of onions is carbohydrate. So just think about, just keep things to an absolute minimum. Keep, you have to tell your family, you have to be firm, okay? Can you eat regular chips or Cheeto? No! They are stuffed in seed oils, makes you fat, okay? chips are the worst. They are wheat, you know, just you know, pure death, and they are seed oils. It's double fat, double sickness. And remember, carbohydrates causes glycation in your cell. Just Google what is glycation in the cells. Congratulations, you played yourself. So, but wave and flow. But remember, carbs in the beginning weeks. Take it a couple of weeks. Just go down like this, okay? Please, don't cut yourself off. You're gonna get cravings the first day. You're gonna be stuffing yourself with chocolate, okay? You gotta take that down like this, okay? The first days. And that while you're increasing your animal protein. I tell your family, you just have to tell your family, you have to be firm and say, this is my body, I have to do it, okay? I used to eat lots of carrots. I thought they were good for my eyes. Well, you want something that's good for your eyes, you eat beef. Beef have a ton of vitamins, especially vitamin A. That's good for your body, okay? So, yeah, in World War II, they used to give pilots a lot of carrots because they thought it would help their night vision. It's like debated, but you eat whatever you want, but I would rather eat beef, okay? Update you after 6 months. My dear sister, I can promise you this. If you do as I say, in 1 month, you'll be down 10 kilos if you do it perfect. But you won't be able to do that much, most likely, but remember, your body will recomposition itself, okay? It will be like, your body will be like, what is going on here? Where is all my lovely carbohydrates? Where's my chips? Where's my deep seed fried chicken in seed oils that is causing inflammation and causing me to be fat? So you have to, how to make chicken thighs or chicken? You have plenty of real butter in the pan, hot, and you just keep turning them over and over to get crispy and nice. And the butter from the real butter in the frying pan, you keep turning those. You have to have plenty of butter, okay? But don't, of course, burn yourself. So always put the meat down away from you in the pan. But switch the chicken around in the pan a lot. You get crispy, twist it around and around. So the chicken will be nice and crispy and made only in butter. It's so good. Then you take the chicken off to the plate and you season with sea salt and maybe garlic. Oh my God, it's so good. And you eat only this. You can eat 3, 4, 5 chicken breasts and you're stuffed and you'll be so full, okay? You'll be full, and at the same time, you will actually lose fat because the body will still need. Remember, when you eat animal protein, aka just animal meats, your body will still need energy, and that energy comes from the fat on your body. When you add carbs, aka, think about insulin is a wall that raises up and says you cannot take fat from the body anymore. Insulin is a door that shuts down your fat burning, okay? And that only happens from carbohydrates, okay? Now you know the secret trick, Wave and Flow. This is the secret trick. Tell all your girlfriends who want to lose weight, okay? This is the secret trick. Insulin raises and no more fat burning, okay? Eat animal protein, animal fats. That door keeps flowing. Door keeps flowing, you lose fat, okay? And do not go on the weight every single day, because when you change your food around to eating more protein and fat, after maybe a few days, you will actually, or a week, so you'll actually, some people actually see they gain a little weight, and they will be like, oh my God, it doesn't work. No, it's because you actually got more muscle. Okay, you got more fat in your female parts, but you're actually losing fat. This is what many people don't understand. So if you're going to weigh yourself, do it once a week, in the morning, after you've been to the bathroom, and have the same amount of clothing on you, okay? Once a week, the same day. The most I lost in obesity when I was doing this, I lost 3 kilos a week, okay? And this Wave and Flow, and get up in the morning. Take water with you. If you drink coffee, and take a coffee pill or something, but go out and walk in the morning, fasted cardio. If you can go 45 minutes fasted cardio, wow, while you are in a state of fat burning, you will burn fat like you, wow, Wave and Flow. You will be, yeah, it's no joke. I did that for a year, okay? I would walk after 2 hours. I would lose so much weight, geez. And I would actually be just as strong and gain muscle. I would actually gain muscle while cutting. You can easily gain muscle while cutting fat. It's the most easy thing in the world. Eat protein, fasted cardio, no seed oils, no carbs, okay? Just take it easy the first weeks to ease into it, so your body is used to it. You know, that's the only thing wave and flow. Trust me. If I anything else here? Wait, so you want me to run for 45 minutes after Suho? No, 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 no. That will give you. Do not do anything after you start fasting in Ramadan. Ramadan is number one. I'm talking about during Ramadan. You can do walking at the end, just before you break your fast. That's okay. But do not do it when you start. You're gonna get craving and super hungry and thirsty. No, 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 no. Don't do that. You're gonna lie down and you're gonna crave and start drinking water. Don't do that. I'm talking not Ramadan, of course. When you wake up and when you are Ramadan is done and you're used to burning only fat in your body, as I just told you about insulin. Then you woke up in the morning, you're empty, you're burning just fat, and the thing is when you're waking up in the morning, when you're just okay, you're joking. So you will go out and then you're walking in the morning and drink water. Then you come home, okay, and then you make your first meal, which is just animal protein and fats. You're still burning fats because if you come home in the morning after doing incredible walking, 45 minutes and half an hour, burning super fat, your body's like, oh my God, you're walking, you're burning so much fat. You come home and then you're stuffing yourself with carbs. Congratulations. All those gains are gone. You have lost 0 from entire night of fasting and walking. You will gain all of that weight back in the next day because you ate a lot of carbohydrates, okay? This is the golden rule to losing fat. You have to stay in where you burn ketones, aka fats. And you will, when you get to ketogenic state, don't overthink things, and don't look up the line of what people say. You can look up, sure, there's a lot of girl channels with keto, it's fantastic. Look up those channels I gave you, look up those 2 channels. That's don't go too and wonder too much about fake doctors who push the carbs and that crap. You know, they're scumbags. So remember, you will lose everything by eating carbs. So stay in a ketogenic diet and I've been talking for an hour now, I'm so dry. So eat animal fat and proteins, and I can promise you, in a few months, sister, I don't know how obese you are or fat or just a little or much. I don't want to know. It's personal, of course, and I want to. But I can promise you, you're gonna go on that scale and be like, wow, I dropped a lot of weight. Okay, and the thing is, when you're actually fasting, you will actually eat up the dead cells in your body called atrophy. Agotrophy. I can't speak, I'm so dry. Which kills your old cells in your body, okay? It replenishes your cells with new cells, and you will actually decrease your skin, so you won't get flabby, skin. Look up the guy that I told you about who fasted over a year. He was this big, and he almost had no loose skin afterwards because of his fasting. Because fasting actually make you decrease your skin. Also, it eats up your skin. That's why people who gain fast super fast, they get a lot of loose skin. Okay, so remember, you will also lose, and you will be, when you do ketogenic diet, girls, you will look at minimum 10 years younger. Trust me. Your pain in that area down there for most women disappear. You will look so young. Your look at there's a thing online called carnivore boobs. No joke. And Steak and Butter Gal talks a lot about it with female doctors. Girl, you can read the comments underneath her videos on this. Women would say, oh my God, my boobs would grow like so much big and firm. I don't want to be graphic here, but I have to be honest with you. And they talk about these girls, and they say it. Women, their bodies will transform. Their teeth will be so healthy. There will be no more plaque on their teeth. Their hair will be beautiful, like never been before. High-fat carnivore diet for women is a lifesaver. It transforms them. Their skin is so radiant and beautiful, and it's never been before. So trust me. Look, that Steak and Butter Gal I told you about in chat. Check her out in all her videos. You are going to be addicted. It will change your life completely. And so there's a reason why, Wave and Flow, you came to chat today, okay? If you were looking for an answer for many years to change your life on this, because do not listen to these so-called nutritionists and these so-called doctors. They know nothing about nutrition. They know nothing. They know absolutely nothing about nutrition. So And but most people will never listen, so it doesn't matter. The people who are proud and arrogant, and they think they know better. I've been to the medical doctor here, top medical doctors here in Norway, and talked to them. Even a woman up in Tromsø, she was like a doctor above doctors. When we were alone, I talked to her about this, how I used to be 160 kilo of really fat. I had diabetes type 2 and all of these things. I looked like a wreck. And we talked about these things, how I would lose my weight. And when we was alone, she told me, yeah, she too, that's all she ate. It's just protein and fats. And she was in her 50s, I think. She was really nice looking woman, really nice looking. I mean, she was skin, but full, like a really a good looking woman. She was in her 50s, and she said it too. Yeah, she knows. But can't talk about it because of, it's not still public domain for everyone to speak about. But and the other guy I talked to in Norway, he laughed and said, yeah, of course, there's no money for us if you are healthy and thin, because 99% of all sickness today is because of people eating crap, carbs and seed oils. So, and again, try to keep your artificial sweeteners to an absolute minimum, or very little, because they can actually mess up your hormones, especially if you eat a lot of them. But it depends on person to person, so you can see those things. So, any more questions, people? I can talk about this thing for 10 hours. But remember this, what I said about the insulin rising, it stops your fat burning, okay? Rise insulin because of carbs, you burn your fat, okay? You want to keep that flow of fat. And remember, you start to pee a lot more. You get a lot more urine while you are, just like you're fasting. When you get to ketostatic, you know how you're burning fat, you pee more. It's so funny, because people think, it's just water weight, and no, it's not. The cells will not lose the water and just have the fat left. Body is using a lot of energy to take the fat from your body to make it into energy. It takes the energy from your body, that is the actual fat from the fat cells, for energy, because it needs the water while we are fasting now during Ramadan. You know what I'm getting with this? That's why people who are really fat, they don't have to drink for 3 days. A thin person will die after 3 days with no water. A person who's really fat can lay in a week and not die. Actually, you missed a lot. I didn't know you were gone. Okay, I'm trying to tell you that you're gonna pee a lot more when you start fasting and you get to ketogenic diet. When your body go from, after a few days, from burning fat, from burning carbs to burning fat. So you will pee more, because your body will take the water from the fat cells to hydrate the body, just like in Ramadan. It will take the energy from the body, from the fat cells, and use it for energy. And when the fat cells loses the fat in the cells, the fat cells, like everything else in your body, is mostly water. But the water will leave the fat cells, and you will pee it out, or use it for actually water to your intestines and stuff. Like now, your sister, you are fasting Ramadan. You will actually not feel too thirsty many times, because you have a lot of water. The body takes water from the fat cells, and it turns it into water for your body. Okay, that's why you also pee a lot, even though you have no pee in the system, because you haven't drink anything, but you still pee, because the body takes the water from your cells and pour it out, because the body is using energy the body is using a lot of energy to burn the fat cells. So you lose water and the fat cell. That's why you pee a lot more when you do burn ketones, aka fat. Okay, so as I said, when you raise insulin, you stop the fat burning. When insulin is low, because you eat only protein and fat, the fat from your body will keep flowing and makes you thin. Okay, and it's not when you get down to a certain level, when the body gets to it subcutaneous natural fat level that it needs for good hormones underneath your fat, it won't continue burning that. It will keep that level thin, and you'll be always thin. Okay, that makes sense. When you get down to 12% fat or something like that, when you get thin, the body won't continue burning fat, so you die, because of you just muscles and no, because you have to have fat in your body, otherwise you'll die. But so that won't happen. Don't worry about it. When you get down to a certain percentage, you can continue burning just fat, because the fat will continuously, in your body. You won't lose fat. The body will only rid itself of the extra fat it doesn't need. Yeah, you understand what I'm meaning. Just remember the golden rule. High insulin stops the fat. Low insulin, the fat keeps flowing from your fat cells and out again and helps you pee more because of it. So no seed oils, no greens that grows above the grounds. Keep carbs to an absolute minimum. Maximum 20 grams a day if you can, 20, 30 grams. And if you eat carbs, keep them early in the day, because the last meal is only protein. When you start fasting again, you will actually start burning just fat again after 6 hours if you're used to eating just carbs. But when your last meal is just a bunch of pasta and crap, that is pure death for your body. You can go as much as 12 hours before the body starts burning just fat, and then you, of course, you have your breakfast again, and you have no progress. So that is why you when you get to keto, when you burn just fat, you will burn fat 24/7. That is why you drop so much weight on. So do fasted cardio in the morning as you can. Fasted cardio, okay? In Ramadan now, sister, now we even flow. I think we live in Europe. I'm not sure, but start today. Go out today. Take it slow. The last half an hour before you break fast, okay? Go for a walk. And when I mean walk, that doesn't mean the Middle East. Nice. So that doesn't mean you stay at your phone. Like just walk. So you can keep a conversation, but you cannot whistle. Then you're walking too slow. You know what I mean? You can walk with a girlfriend and keep a conversation without stopping, but you can't be. Then it's too fast. You know what I mean? It's a good steady pace. Okay. So that is fantastic. To do it in the end of the fast, if you can today, get a girlfriend to walk with if you're. You're in the Middle East. That's nice. Yeah. Hope I can go to the Middle East someday. Meet myself a Muslima. Here in Norway it's impossible. But do that. Do the cardio in the morning when you're not doing Ramadan, or do the cardio now in the end when you are fasting. Okay. Like me, I'm going to the gym today around 16:30. 4:30. Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope you to go to the Middle East. I'm gonna get to work now soon again and get some money. I'm gonna go to the Middle East, to go to Mecca and stuff and see what happens. So that would be awesome. But get your cardio in, carbs. I think we have the. Just check out this. You promised me you're gonna check out Anthony Shafee in his videos. Okay, he's the real deal. He's not some bullshit influencer. Okay, you promised you'll check out his videos, and you're gonna be you're gonna change your life around. Okay. This is the next stream. I don't know. I can do it tomorrow or later today. I haven't streamed. I used to be a streamer when I was a gamer. Believe it or not, I was once one of the world's best gamers in the 2000 national team and everything. Old school FPS games. I was good. I was real good. I had a big ego in gaming. I still have. Stuck fiddler. I was good. But anyways. So I did a lot of streaming, but not like this. So I had quite a lot of people join in today, which is nice. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll make up more quality. This video is low quality crap. I look like a corpse here. I'm so pale. I'm not this pale, by the way. Not that I care. I look like a corpse on my phone. So I don't care. I'm a man. I don't care about mine. But I go to the gym today. I haven't streaming now. It must be 2 hours. It's way too long. I shouldn't be streaming more than half an hour. I'll keep it more in sync and stay on one topic, okay? I'll keep it more in sync to one thing. I was going to talk about shoulder day today, but that didn't happen. I talked about how doing overhead press and shrugs, for us men, doing shrugs for a thick neck is king. You see guys that have really thin neck, like mine is really thick. You can tell because it's muscle. It's real. When it's because I'm always, I'm a big strong man, but I always had a big shoulder area. But if you want to get a thick neck, you can't be choked out easily by combat. You do a lot of shrugs, barbell shrugs, but shrugs upwards and backwards with your like this, shrugs for a thick neck and overhead press. So. Yeah, Bautista has big shoulders. Too bad he's been running for a minimum 20 years of. Look him up and see how he looks now. He looks like a little boy because he's off roids. So, I went the longest just 3 years ago, 6 months without training anything. I was just as big. Why? Because I eat just start off my day with 6-8 eggs, you know, beef. And no, I watched wrestling in the 80s. I watched in the 80s one, so 90s when I was a kid, a small kid. I watched. Yeah, he lost weight because he was off the roids. They're off the roids because they're probably going to kill themselves now soon. They've been doing so much growth hormones and trenbolone and all these things. They're about to die. Most of the doctors told them, you're going to die now. I mean, so they've been running the extreme steroid cycles now for 20, 30 years. But that's why they make their millions of dollars, you know. If I were to use roids and do it right, I would be a freak house. I'm so big naturally. I don't need to use roids, thankfully. So I'm lucky that way. But that's my genes. So everything I have, I own to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing for myself. It's all because of Allah. So I try to be humble, even though, you know, it's easy to flex in the mirror and, you know, the douche face in the mirror and see my big arms and big shoulders and you know, I have big chest too, you know. Be you know, arrogant, not be arrogant. I always try to think, don't be humble, you know, be humble. So it's more of a thing when you're in your 20s. I'm no longer in my 20s, so yeah. But I can't believe I had this boring background image. Like, but the thing is, like in the old days, like Arnold here. You can see Arnold here. This is Arnold when he was competing. This is actually not his biggest. Imagine Arnold only took testosterone. No joke. Because they trained 5 hours a day. They ate tons of beef and whole milk. That's the difference between modern bodybuilding, which is just a bunch of carbs and insulin and oils, the stuff. They must look like crap. They wear those feminine pants. It's disgusting. But the old school trainers, like Arnold here. This is Arnold in the 70s. Okay? People have no idea what old school body. This is why I do old school. I train old school bodybuilding. I know that modern nonsense, you know, that is so fake and disgusting. So that Arnold and Frank Zane, Larry Scott, Lee Haney, you know, Franco Colombo, Sergio, all those guys, they ate tons of this is a video of Arnold with I can't get the whole picture here, god damn it. Yeah, the picture should be bigger, but see here Arnold, this was like in 69 or something, 70, 69, you can't see the whole picture, damn it. Arnold was a freak show. He was so, and remember, he ate whole milk and beef and eggs. That's all he did. You can tell from the interview. He said, you picture him. They would eat as much as 36 eggs a day. Tons of beefs and eggs, you know. That's all they would eat, the old school guys. You know, beef and eggs, beef and eggs, beef and eggs, okay? This is what you guys gotta understand. If you're a man or a woman, you gotta eat beef and eggs, chicken, you know, just animal. Look how lean Arnold is here. Look at his stomach. Now look at the modern bodybuilders, how fat they are. They're so fat and bloated. They're sticking out their disgusting insulin guts. The old school guys, they did take testosterone, yes, but that's it. Look how lean Arnold is here. Look at his midsection, okay? Because he had the V taper, okay? That's why Arnold went off the gear. He was still huge, and they were so thin year around because they only take the extra testosterone during the last 3 days. The last 3 months of preparation before the contest, okay? Because they ate just beef and eggs and whole milk. They would stuff themselves with this every single day, okay? So the moral of today, guys, you gotta eat, and this is modern bodybuilders. Look at this disgusting fat. Look at this. This is the Mr. Olympia last year. The Derek Lunsford. His stomach. That is not muscles. That is literally carbohydrates and fat. Look at his disgusting stomach. Look at his girl panties he's standing on. So haram. It's disgusting. Look at his stomach. His shoulders are full of oil. It's called synthol. They stuff oil into their muscles. Okay? Look at the guy behind him. Look at his stomach. Disgusting. Okay? Look like shit. Even they put oil even in their latissimus dorso here. You see sometimes they're pinprick because they're stuffing oil to inflate their muscle. Absolute. I mean, modern bodybuilding and fitness is an absolute joke. And stay away from watching so-called influencers online. They are the worst. Can you believe I cut my hair? I miss my old hair, man. I really miss my old hair. Look, I'm actually, now it's a little, you know, my hair is thick everywhere, but I mean, it's a little messed up now because I used the machine. But I cut my hair. I shouldn't have, I have a long hair, blonde hair. No, I actually cannot. No, I actually cannot. What can't you? This is my hair just a month ago. I cut my hair. I missed my hair. So I should not have cut my hair, I know, but it's... Look at that depressed face in the gym. I mean, I can't believe you cut your hair, Lily. Yeah, I know. I cut my hair. I have beautiful hair, but I always throwing it around like a woman, and I was like, that's my hair. And my hair now, I only have water in my hair. I never ever put anything in my hair. That is just to shower, and that's it. I dry it off a little, and that's it. My hair goes naturally out. Like my mother used to be a hairdresser. When she was younger, she cut hair. She can still cut hair. She was actually the one who cut me the last time. And my mother. And my hair will naturally go out like this. She says it's called fall in Norwegian. Like a... I don't know what you call it in there. But yeah. I guess I have to grow it out again, huh? This is my hair all naturally with nothing in it. So this is like a month ago in the gym. So when I cut my hair, I look terrible, I know, but it's nice to get short hair again. Any more questions before I jump off? It's now 12 o'clock here, so cut myself today, my shaving. I have to stop shaving. I should probably get a real imam beard, huh? Get a good beard like a good Muslim man, huh? I know I should. I'm gonna get it, but not right now. I'm gonna see if I can get a good my beard will be. It's 12 a.m. Well, I don't know a.m. if that after midday or past midday. Well, after midnight, or it's basically the middle of the day. You're in the Middle East, so you know it. You are close to my time. Middle East, you're probably 2 o'clock now, 3 o'clock, where you are in the Middle East, depending on where you are. By the way, be safe down there. We know who's demons down there are now attacking. So to be safe down there. So, but there's no more questions. I'm gonna jump off and jump off now just for today, and I'll jump on. I'll be on the regular now and then throughout from now on. Ask some questions. I'm gonna get a better camera. I'm on my phone. I look terrible. Every single day. Let's go. I'm fired up. Really? Savage said, where are you from, Savage? I want to know before I quit. Where are you from in the world? Tell me where you're from. By the way, there's a delay when I speak. It's like, oh, Texas, nice. Texas, home of bulls. Texas is a big state. Wow, it's big. It's like it's the size of Ukraine. It's huge. It's so huge. Texas, it's really big. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You're lucky in Texas. You can buy beef from ranches and you get whole milk that it's not been pasteurized. If I live in the U.S., I would only buy milk that is not been pasteurized and eat and buy. In America, you have those big steaks. We don't have that here. They're like, oh, raw milk. Raw milk is it's like we've been drinking milk for 500,000 years at a minimum. By the way, milk has growth hormone in it that actually affects human beings. Okay, remember this. The reason why it says even in the Quran that milk is good for you. I mean, I became so big. I'm bigger than everyone in my family, my father, my grandfather, everyone. Me and my brother, we would live at competitions in drinking just milk. We would drink I drink every single day from I was like 3, 4, 5 years old up until now. I would drink up to 4 liters of milk every day. Usually around 2 liters of milk every day, whole milk, old school milk. So the growth hormone in the milk affects also human beings. So just remember, if you're trying to lose weight, no dairy products. No joke, no dairy products, because dairy have casomorphins in them, so it hinders your growth. I mean, your milk tells you you want to grow. That's why the calf in a human being, grows from the milk of the mother. So, but if you are maintaining weight, or gaining or bulking, milk is king. This is why Sam Sulek pours milk with his crappy cereal that is completely nonsense to eat. But all Sam Sulek had to do is drink the milk, and he would gain the weight, and the best weight ever, just buff weight with some good fat on him. So, but he eats that cereal because he loves his crappy food. So that's it. He doesn't need that sugar. So he will only get extra fat from the extra carbs. He won't get actually muscle from any carbs. It's impossible. So it's the difference between having energy in your body from the sugar in your bloodstream and actually getting, protein synthesis in your muscles from they can only get that from animal protein. So I'll support your journey. Well, thank you, Mini Jim. Hey, Jimbo. It is nonsense, and he drinks pasteurized milk on top of the poison cereal. Yeah. The good thing about Sam Sulek, people like him, he's the real deal. He doesn't show the warm-up sets because he really should for the newbies. You have to warm up and not lift too hard. If people train like him, they're gonna rip and tear something. So don't do that. But the cereal is absolute garbage. And by the way, anyone who loves to eat your Kellogg cereal in America and other places, look up on the YouTube the dark history of Kellogg. You will never eat Kellogg's again for the rest of your life. That man was pure demonic evil, and his wife. To put it this way, they would cut off down there on young kids because they wouldn't allow them to be virile, men and women. They would cut off their private parts. And the reason why Kellogg, no joke, he created cereal because grains, oats and wheat reduces your hormone levels. It reduces your hormone level. It reduces your hormone, because he hated that young boys in the morning were very, woohoo. So he literally created Kellogg cornflakes to suppress your hormones. Well, thank you so much, William Flo. I hope I helped you today. Okay, do as I said and stay firm with your family. Okay. Walaikum assalam, sister. Please stay firm with your family and do as I said. Because even just one day, if you fall back after 3 days of doing perfect, if one day you stuff your stuff with carbs, you're going to get that weight right back again, okay? Please, so don't do that, okay? Well, I'm going to jump off now, I got to hit the toilet too, so I'm fasting, so there's a lot of water running, so I'm going to go say hello to the kids that are visiting for my sister, so, hold her and hug her for half an hour till she starts protesting. So, see you guys, okay? I'm going to jump off, and I'll be on a regular more basis, okay? And teach you real stuff, not that influencer crap, okay? All right, I'll see you guys around, okay? Take care of yourself, everyone.